Hope you're okay out there, Ouija. But for now, we will be featuring MeleeWizard, cdinprov, and Tyerenex racing against each other. I am Sparkover. I'm joined here by MTI. And
hello.
Looks like we're beginning. So you know the drill. The Dragon Lord has stolen the Ball of Light, and we must restore, peace in the land. So we're going to start with a few chests and see what we get. We are starting out with an herb, a magic key, very nice, and of course,
and a second magic key.
So right away the players will be able to either check out what's in the treasury, or perhaps decide to wait and see if they want to do it later. But looks like people are opting to save and check it out and possibly reset if they don't see what they want.
I am a little loud. Let's see what we can do about that. I'll adapt my Bob Ross voice.
And then MTI used the indoor voice.
I somehow have one of those.
So starting off in the treasury, we find another magic key, a gold chest, another gold chest,
and an axe ghost.
Oh, beautiful. I love the axe ghost. Turns out
That
to be
looks like
fairy
water. We see MeleeWizard opting for an early gold grind here.
Yeah, so it looks like just because we started off being able to do the gold grind, MeleeWizard may be going on a little adventure to see if there's a town nearby. Meanwhile, on cdinprov side, was choosing to start fighting right away and has already gotten up to level 2.
I missed the level up, unfortunately.
I did too. I have to remember that I'm tracking as well.
Here's level 3.
So let's see, we have MeleeWizard and Tyerenex both on the Strength HP build, and cdinprov, I unfortunately do not know.
I don't actually know what that build is. You can look it up real quick, I think.
So meanwhile, we've got a gold grind going on 2 people's here. So we will see how much searching they do versus leveling. So let's see, I think we're already up to level 4 now for cdinprov. And off to the side, we actually find a town, and it is Garrett. So, if our racers that do have the money go there, they will be able to probably purge it away. However, cdinprov chooses not, because apparently we have learned the spell hurt more already. So I feel like that's definitely going to speed things up right away. Already up to level 5 now. Oops. As I track down to level 3.
Okay, that took longer than I would have liked, but if you are curious, CD apparently also a strength HP.
Ah, thank you very much. Everything is accurate then. So, CD now has, I assume, enough money to buy some keys, is finally going to do the little walk of the castle to purchase keys, and going to the treasury, and of course in there, but also not too many.
I'll find a lot of gold, which can be helpful.
Yeah, might be compelled to check out what's in Gardenham after this, now that we do have more keys as well. So we're going to be seeing what's in the basement now of Tentagel, and it is a dark cave.
It's a cave, not a lot of information there to tell us what cave it is. It could be a number of things just from walking right. Could be Mountain Cave, could be Swamp South.
I'm assuming by the steps taken, yeah, probably Mountain Cave, as Dry Guy said in the thing, possibly Tablet, but yeah, many options available.
It is true, I don't have audio up, so I couldn't hear if there were any bonks there.
I couldn't quite notice if they were taking steps up and down at the same time. So let's see, MeleeWizard has found Garanham now. Stocking up on some herbs and other items. I notice a lot of money is gone though, so unfortunately I missed if there were any purchases there, armor-wise. So we are donning the scale of the dragon. And MeleeWizard is leaving, so unfortunately there were probably some weapon purchases there that I had not seen.
Meanwhile, CD running into a blue dragon here. Going back to the start.
Let's see, Tyerenex is up to level 3 now, and MeleeWizard is still at level 1, but now doing even more exploration. Tyerenex also still has all the money that was grinded,
well, not anymore.
Unfortunately, he's taking a death to a wizard.
That wizard said no. And I guess because they didn't see any towns immediately nearby, Tyerenex just going to opt not to reset and keep the gold. But they find Garanham.
So MeleeWizard learns that Warlocks have Dragonlord breath, but we can also confirm that the cave we saw in Tantagel was Swamp South. Tyerenex purchases the Silver Shield and the Chainmail, and possibly an upcoming club?
Doesn't look like they got the club, which is interesting. 60 gold, you might as well at that point. And again, you do have Hurt More as well, so... cdinprov picking up a club, and Chainmail.
I had missed for sure if Melee got the Silver Shield, but based on the money that was there, I assume that that is the case, and I'm going to mark down that and the Chainmail, just based on that is exactly what makes sense, for sure. Apologies, folks. I am both tracking and commentating, so sometimes things will get lost. So in the back door of Garanham, we've got some gold, the Stones of Sunlight.
Stones of Sunlight for cdinprov and a torch. Stones of Sunlight now also for Tyerenex.
And we also get to see what's in the back cave.
That is the Staff of Rain cave, back of Garanham.
Good to know, though we don't have the Silver Harp yet, so we'll have to be visiting that later.
It's kind of Silver Harp related. Of course, in the vanilla game, that is Garen's Grave, where you would get the Silver Harp.
So now MeleeWizard is in the Mountain Cave that was right outside the first castle.
I think you mean cdinprov.
Sorry, CD. Yes, my apologies.
Yes. No problem, they reach level 6. Oh, look at that! 0 power! I love it!
But 24 hit points, very generous on that side.
It is very nice.
We're already up to 80 hit points on CD's side, so we're already starting to think, could there be a death necklace this seed? Always have to think that if, you're already level, like, 6.
And you have 80 hit points, yes.
You're halfway there. Heck, you're past halfway there.
You have wings on the top floor of the Mountain Cave.
Oh, there we go. I had lost my video for... We are back.
Hooray! Welcome back. There's an herb in the, in that kind of isolated chest. Not the last chest you would get in Mountain, but... another torch, and another herb.
Ah, torches and herbs. And the fun police.
Wee-hoo.
So unfortunately, we're not going to be seeing immediately what the final chest is down at the bottom of the mountain cave.
We'll never know.
I think we'll know eventually.
Probably.
So now that all our racers have the spell of Hurtmore, we're probably going to see a fair number of, probably different paths taking an exploration. The heal spell also helps you as well, given that we know their HP is going to be very high. Exploration's going to be not too bad so far today, I think. Of course, it also depends on what enemies you encounter on the overworld.
Certainly true, but the Hurtmore does help a lot regardless. Hurtmore is extremely useful in Dragon Warrior Randomizer. In the vanilla game, not so much, because by the time you get it, you are probably either going to be either one-shotting things, or things that you can't one-shot, or at most two-shot, you are going to want to run away from anyway.
Yeah, sure enough.
Yep, or the enemies will be highly resistant to it. But in the randomizer, especially if you get it early on, it is very useful, and you can get exploring and taking various routes very easily.
Yeah, if you get hurt more early on, you're most likely to have people yell Jet Seed, which has been proven wrong in the past, but it definitely helps speed things up in the beginning. So yeah, as Mechalink is noting in chat, cdinprov is going for the Silver Shield money, and we already do know where one is, so very nice to get that early on.
Yes, I believe cdinprov did buy a club in chainmail early on as well. They were just for the Silver Shield, so...
So now MeleeWizard finds the mountain cave, and Tyerenex is making a run for the final chest, but a red dragon preemptively attacks, and he
gets away.
Run away.
Very nice.
And yet there is another one wanting to say hello.
cdinprov going up to level 7 now. A new spell. Spell of Outside. Not bad.
So unfortunately, now Tyerenex is sent back by the fun police. Can MeleeWizard be the first one to make it down there?
CD does purchase the Silver Shield. Yeah, that is, I'm pretty sure that is the elf princess from Dragon Warrior 4. I don't know if it's Cecilia.
Cecilia? One of those names, I believe. Very cute one. Oh, so up on MeleeWizard's side, we also learn the Dragon Breath, and unfortunately that's how Melee is sent back to the penalty box.
Yes, indeed. Meanwhile, it looks like Tyerenex might be taking a look at what is the spike pile guarding the princess here. Uh-oh.
Hear that? That's the fun police. I'm honestly not sure if you can hear that, but there was a very well-timed siren outside my house.
I missed the siren. So red dragons are just nasty enemies. Basically always. High strength, high agility, hard to run from, a lot of HP. In the vanilla game, they're even nastier because they have the sleep spell as well, which is actually tends to not be super useful in your hands and is completely OP in the hands of the enemies. So.
And to top it off, they have a very high spell resistance, so using Hurtmore on them is not going to be very effective.
Yes, there is that as well.
Still is possible, but not a guarantee. I mean, I suppose none of them are guarantees, but it's not as likely as any of the others. So we've got two of our runners heading back down to find out what that bottom chest is. MeleeWizard gets closer.
Oh, and warlocks have Dragon Lore breath. Yikes.
Yeah, we've seen a few enemies so far with them, but we see the final chest, and it is Erdrick's token, so it is important.
Yes, indeed.
And in fact, now we have CD going back down there as well. So, I mean, hopefully for the case of our runners, they can all make it down there, find the token. Sometimes, if you just die before the last chest, sometimes you just think, oh, maybe it's one chest. Let's look in other places. However,
I have definitely done that. Yes.
It can hurt you. I've been hurt by missing the final chest in the mountain cave before. But Tyerenex is able to get there as well.
Yes, the mountain cave, the final mountain cave chest, or the last two chests in Garen's grave are also common ones to die before.
Mm-hmm. So now by this, we also know that at least one of our search spots is empty, and unfortunately, it also means now one of the cursed belts is gone. I don't know. Kind of rough.
I know you're very upset about that.
I might have to go cry for a little bit.
Well, maybe hopefully we'll see a Sparko bridge this season. That will make you feel better.
That would just be beautiful. Hello, I'm Sparkover, and I have made a few different inside jokes over the course of the years in my Dragon Warrior Randomizer history. Possibly with help, like say from MTI.
Yes, indeed.
So we're starting to branch out a little bit now. MeleeWizard is heading down and to the west, and we can see Sherlock in the corner of the screen.
Ah, yes, there it is.
Yeah, as Ryguy notes in chat, the MP is really low right now, sitting at 21 for the higher ones, which definitely does kind of hold you back in a Hurtmore seed. And I didn't notice this at first, but there actually is a town right on top of Sherlock.
Yep, just kind of chilling there.
Yeah, very convenient though, unless it's Hogsness, of course. But it's Cantlin.
Oh, Cantlin. Very nice.
So MeleeWizard has about 600 monies left. We're going to see what is purchased. Based on, I think a hand axe would probably be what we're looking for the most here.
Based on that gold total, yeah, I would say so. Let me see a common sword, a broadsword, and a flame sword, but no hand axe.
That's what we're looking for. Tyerenex is also down there, I believe with a little less money, and going to check out the coordinates right away. Or at least to find out whether or not we have them. Thou must go and fight, so that is one of our empty spots.
So, Sparkover, would you like to explain the Sparko Bridge?
I probably should. So, everybody, have you ever seen a bridge that leads to exactly one tile of land? That is indeed a Sparkover Bridge. Rumor has it that one day we are going to find a seed where the search item is on that one tile of land. It's been a little bit stretched over time. Some people see a bridge leading to like 2 or 3 tiles and they're like, Sparkover Bridge. I do appreciate it still, but the true Sparkover Bridge is 1 tile. Kind of like how the true MTI level is 2 zeros.
Yes, indeed. Essentially, an MTI level is, as Sparkover said, a level where you get a 0-point stat up. The true MTI level has precisely 2 0-point stat ups, and this is to fit in with the structure of what I was ripping off when I came up with it, which was the Smash TV, big money, big prizes, I love it.
It's beautiful. So we found the tablet cave over on CD's side. It's a cave with just 1 chest at the bottom of it, no enemies at all. But also because of that, if you don't have any light source and don't know the cave very well, it can be a little bit dangerous, because if you have no way of getting yourself out of there, you could get lost in the dark. However, we have a torch, so no problem, and we get down to the chest, and we find Tyerenex gold.
And it's some gold.
We have not seen a Sparkover Bridge yet in the Seed Retro Grizzly Bear. However, we have hopes and dreams.
I should point out that despite being one of the smaller dungeons, in fact the smallest dungeon, Tyerenex Cave, or the Tablet Cave, the second floor in particular, is not trivial to navigate if you don't kind of know where you're going in advance.
Yeah, a lot of little twists and turns, despite its smaller size. I feel like something to do with map generation has actually made bridges less common, and I don't know if I'm just, making that up or not, but I really feel like there have been fewer bridges seen over time.
That is possible with the... And I think it's actually been in play for a while now, but with the whole two-continent setup as well. I wonder if that has something to do with it.
I don't know. I might have to write to my local McGrew about this. Except McGrew's not local to me. So Ty is hitting level 8 now. We've got 2 players at level 8 and 1 at level 7. Still pretty close in experience. In theory, Tyerenex definitely behind right now, but when you're in a Hurtmore seed and your MP is, a little lower, you have to be a little more selective with that, of what you're using your Hurtmores for. We did get a big boost on level 8 though, so that's going to help.
Yes, indeed.
The Sharlock Bridge is not a Sparkover Bridge just because it leads to more than one tile. It doesn't depend on whether the tile is swamp or not. It's just any one tile. It can be fun story. Ooh, we found Remolder. We do have keys though already.
Remolder, yes. But, curious how much gold cdinprov actually has.
Yep, we may have been autopiloting. Oh, no, that was just a mistake. Walking along the outside sometimes can be, a little bit of a worry. Because if you hit the wrong button, you will be out of the town. So we're going to restock on keys and then possibly find out what is behind the 2 doors. What do you think? A torch? Another key? I don't think it could be another key at this point, but...
I always hope for a torch behind the 2 doors, because using 2 keys worth of gold to pick up a torch is always #worth it.
Totally. We have another town on Tyerenex's side over here, and it is Garenham. It is not a new town. That is the same place that we were before. My apologies.
Oh, I should have gone with my original guess of an herb.
Also, #worth it. Totally.
Indeed. I think even in the vanilla game, I think you still technically lose money by getting that chest. I believe it's a set of wings in the vanilla game.
Yes. Yeah, to recap a little bit of what happened in the beginning here, both Melee and Tyerenex opted to, with the second key, save and then check out what was in the treasury, and they both were able to start out with a gold grind. Meanwhile, CD put off going to the treasury and started grinding. However, we got hurt more right away, so that ended up sort of negating any sort of weaponry that the others would have gotten, and it also did turn out that the club was the best item in Garenham nearby.
Indeed, so we have Tyerenex now going up to level 8. MeleeWizard doing a gold grind, cdinprov, purchasing some keys. And we do have VGW in the chat. Yes, they thought the race started at 9 p.m. Unfortunately, it did not. It started at 8 p.m.
Oh darn. Well, hello, Ouija. At least you are well and around. For now, sit back and relax and enjoy what could have been a terrible seed that you don't want to play in. I don't know. Is that consolation? I don't know if that's consolation.
We have a wizard here. Tyerenex running from the wizard. If you're curious as to why, wizards have very high Hurtmore resistance, so it's very unlikely to land. And if you get particularly unlucky, even if you do land the Hurtmore on a wizard, you may not be able to kill it in one hit.
So over on CD's side, we made it through the swamp cave and found a metal slime. We got 2 hits on it, and then it ran away. And then there is another one. So, always a fun little thing to find. But, of course, they tend to run.
They tend to run away before you can hurt them. That is not a metal slime.
That is a little bit different from the metal slime. Gives you the same experience in randomizer, and they're, you know, maybe just about as hard to run from. But actually that run was successful.
Yes, indeed.
And more metal slimes.
Yeah, CD seems to have discovered the metal slime zone, I guess.
I mean, that can always be good, depending on your stats by late in the game. Hunting metal slimes can be very successful if you manage to get a very high attack stat, but need to beef up some of the other ones. Because I believe it's when your attack gets up to 130, 135, you guarantee to hit one. And yeah, then if it ends up getting even higher than that, you can eventually one-kill them. And that has been used before in tournament matches, or just regular races too.
Metal slime grinds are always fun. I don't know that I have been privileged to take part in one. I have gotten, of course, the lucky metal slime kill on occasion, but...
So let's see, we're all at level 8 right now. I believe the next level is at 975 experience, so just about anybody can be within an enemy or 2 of the next level. CD just getting that werewolf actually being very close.
MeleeWizard hitting level 9.
Ah, there we go.
More agility. Seems like this has been a very high agility seed. Another 10 agility there at level 9.
And her HP is already up to 104. Tyerenex going down to our 2-door chest to get the hashtag sweet deals of the herb. It's very important that we use the hashtags so we can be trending on the Twitter.
Much like our social media merchant in Cantlin.
It's true.
Yes, doesn't happen now, but in the... I don't remember exactly when it happened, but at some point in the randomizer there was a change made to the merchant in Cantlin, the first one that you see, so that all 4 of its tiles are shop tiles. Previously, the top and bottom tiles, and in the vanilla game, those are not shoppable tiles. So sometimes the merchant will just go off into a corner and stay there. I like to refer to it as the merchant checking Twitter.
I believe, yes, it was a thing in Nest Cardinality's chat. On the north was Twitter and the south was Facebook. Because, you know, it was very important for Alfguard to keep up on top of their social media.
MeleeWizard with the metal slime kill. That's fantastic.
That's another level right there. So
And
up to level 10 now. Yeah, definitely taking the lead in experience there. Though, again, in a Hurtmore seed, it definitely can, you know, change around quite frequently depending on whether or not you are exploring or, you know, finding all the killable things.
Very true. The experience lead really kind of insignificant at this point.
Yeah, and a lot of it too can even just come down to, you know, the order that you find all your items in, because when you can actually start just focusing on grinding, it will help with that. Though we already do know that one of our enemy tiles is a red dragon, so that's not quite for the Hurtmore.
Right, and from what we've seen, red dragons don't have any particular abilities that might make them easier, because with the randomizer, enemy skills can be randomized as well. So sometimes you'll get a red dragon that just has stop spell and hurt, which is probably the best case scenario. Here it looks like they just smack you to death.
So CD finds that there are no coordinates. We've got Melee restocking on keys and probably also going for that sweeter deal. And down on Tyerenex's side, just doing some more exploration.
Yeah, unfortunately had to throw a second heal more there because it looked like the green dragon either dodged or he just wasn't strong enough to actually hurt it.
Yeah, and just about out of MP2.
Yeah, Tyerenex finding a cave. Oh, and the preemptive attack from the Stone Man.
You can't fight the back attack, unfortunately. So CD, I think, is just about 10 experience points away from the next level, actually. The Golem is not going to do it for her, but just about any other enemy will be able to cover that. But let's find another Golem.
Uh-oh, and green dragons have sleep. Yikes. MeleeWizard opting to just attack this green dragon. Looks like they got spooked because one of their Hurtmores got resisted. Green dragons have very low Hurtmore resistance, I believe.
So how long is this list of enemies with Dragonlord Breath getting? Because I have just added the Wraith Knight to it. I think we found at least 5 of them so far.
You've been paying more attention than I have. I know the Druids have Dragonlord Breath.
Yeah, I believe we were up to Druid.
Warlock had it, I believe.
Warlock, yeah, sorry. I feel like there were a couple more, though. There have been quite a few. So there is our level 9 for CD. Ooh, excuse me. It's hydration time. Everybody, you've been watching this randomizer race for at least half an hour. Take a sip of water. I can't tell you how much you need to drink.
Good idea. I have some delicious blackberry clementine flavored polar seltzer water here.
Fantastic. So let's see, are we in a new cave now on Ty's side? Yes, we have found the grave. 3 closed chests on the top, and 2, longer to get to chests a little further down, but we do have keys, so they're accessible. Now we just have to see if we can get around this red dragon.
Note that the CD just chip-shotted a green dragon to death for 3 damage. I'm guessing they tried to hurt more and it rolled low.
Alright, so we found a torch, silver harp, and gold on the top of the grave. So there we are, harp for Tyerenex. And that is, just about 2 of the 3 items we need to make the rainbow drop. We do know where that the Staff of Rain Cave is located, so it'll be an easy exchange whenever we're back in that area.
Right. I don't believe we yet know where the Jerk Cave is, however.
I had thought that I saw somebody go into that, but I could be mistaken
Possibly.
it for something else.
You could be right. I am bad at paying attention.
But I'm bad at remembering. How will this work?
Oh, gasp.
So we've got 3 very optimal enemies on screen right now. 2 Axe Knights and a Rogue Scorpion are very nice for your hurt more needs. It looks like we're at level 11 now for MeleeWizard with yet another large HP gain. We're up to 119.
Wow. And unfortunately, cdinprov getting unlucky with the hurt more roll, and then getting further unlucky that the Axe Knight had particularly high HP. Tried 2 chip-shot attacks, and Axe Knight survived and walloped
I
her.
just saw a metal slime flash by on Ty's screen. Was that an excellent move?
I don't know,
I
unfortunately.
think that may have been. I saw the metal slime, but only for a very short amount of time. So now we do know they are in a couple places. We've seen them at least in the grave here, and also on the other side of the swamp cave.
cdinprov, meanwhile, going up to level 10. Yes, there's another metal slime.
And an excellent move on that metal slime.
Wow.
And we've just made it down to the final chest. We are interrupted by a rogue scorpion. Runs away, finds a key on the bottom.
Magic key.
Right, not just any key, but a magic key. So with no MP left, it looks like Tyerenex is hoping to walk out of here.
Okay, looks like they're gonna just go ahead and take the death here. Makes sense.
Not too much you can do against the red dragon, unfortunately. You can try to run, but even so, it's a very long walk.
Yes, also, blue dragons apparently have what we like to call baby breath. The weaker fire attack.
So it's still fairly effective when you don't have Erdrick's armor. But when you do find it on some stronger enemies, it still is preferred because it can do less than what their physical attack might do.
Yes, indeed. Which is red dragons and armored knights, basically any of those endgame enemies. Seeing the baby breath is actually not the worst thing. We have Tyerenex going to exchange the harp for the Staff of Rain.
And that is all the 3 items you need to be making the rainbow drop. And we indeed do have the Jerk Cave right down below. Sparkcobra, why is it called the Jerk Cave? That's a nice man who's helping you. Well, it so turns out when you don't have exactly what he say some very harsh words to you. In fact, at some point, he might even cast you out. I had some experiences with that fellow in my first play of Dragon War. He got a special nickname from me. It stuck with the community.
Our first playthroughs of the NES Dragon Warriors were all delightful, I must say.
It is a very lovely game series. I quite enjoyed it so much. And there are randomizers for the other ones as well. However, this is definitely the popular one. I believe the other ones also take a fair amount more time to complete.
That is correct. I suspect those two facts might be related.
Oh, possibly. Though to be fair, I do remember when back in the day, this randomizer would take hours. I remember races, some could take like around, 3-ish, 4-ish hours because we didn't quite have some of the same experience buffs and other things as does now. And also, we also weren't quite as experienced back then either.
Yes, so the Dragon Warrior randomizer actually makes a number of kind of quality of life improvements to the original game. The main one is that enemies' experience and gold, as much as possible, have been buffed up to the totals that you receive in some of the remakes, which by itself cuts down a lot of the grind time. And then another, not 100%, but it's the typical standard flag set that you're seeing this week, is that the actual experience totals required to level up are reduced by 1/4. This is sometimes called fast level up.
So we've already got Tyerenex in Sherlock. Possibly just doing some Skyping? Scoping out the situation, rather. Yep, I'm in Sherlock. I'm going to Skype you.
We'll Skype with the Dragon Lord. How's that?
Yes. And meanwhile, MeleeWizard picks up the harp in the grave.
Meanwhile, Tyerenex here going up to level 11. Another 12 hit points at that level.
You're asking in chat. There is one more match tonight that will be featured on Randomania. Hoping that the other race is over quite soon, that there will be time for that. Otherwise, I imagine it'll start soon. Anyways, yes, it is a match between Mr. Holmes, Will Wagner Music, Shubinator, and Jackamus Wedge. That is the final match of this week. Words by Sparko, everybody.
Sparko words. So yeah, it looks like Tyerenex here just trying to see. I could do a little bit of a preemptive grinding here if possible. And scouting for information what this topmost zone could be. I believe MeleeWizard now about to turn in the harp. And MeleeWizard.
Around a little bit around what is going on in the rest of the community. Looks like 2 people have finished so far in the race that had already been started, and also, as we have just mentioned, the next race will be starting up very soon. These are the final 3 races of this week, and then we will probably take a break of a couple days for the next week to start soon. Next week's flags, I believe, are featuring the vanilla map with shuffled locations. So that should be interesting to see.
That's correct. The vanilla map with speed hacks, I believe, is what it is technically
Oh
called.
yes, that is correct.
With the zippy text, I believe, is what that means.
Yeah, and Lorgon noting in chat, it definitely does look like things are slowing down a little bit. We still do have yet to discover where the armor is. We have not seen Hawksness or Cole, which it will hold, or rather, one of those two will hold the armor. Also, there has not been a sighting of Erdrick's sword yet. Off the top of my head, I believe it has to either be in the Stones of Sunlight Cave or in Sherlock itself.
That is correct. Off the top of my head, I believe you're right. I believe we've seen every other chest.
I believe a couple of people did look in Cantlin to see what was for sale. However, at the time, no one had a lot of money, so there was not too much to buy at the time. I believe I saw a broadsword, at least in one spot, though.
Yeah, I believe there was a broadsword and actually a flame sword as well. They decided to go that way.
I feel like a sword dive definitely could be in the thoughts of starting in some people's thoughts, though, because I believe all of them actually have covered the same number of chests. Maybe CD actually hasn't been into the grave yet, but other than that, two of our racers
I don't
had
believe
seen just
you have
everything.
now. Right. And just briefly looking here on the stream, I see MeleeWizard very early on bought and equipped the scale. The dragon scale gives a permanent +2 to defense power. You see the stats now.
Yeah, so HP is really the only stat that's really starting to get up there. I dare not comment on the agility or else I will be shunned from the entire community. I say agility in the 60s is great. No one believes me. It's definitely, not quite up there, though. Yes, Hawksness still has not been found. Hawksness, Hole, and the Stones of Sunlight Cave have yet to be discovered.
Correct.
Yes, true, Lorgon. Death Necklace is also probable to be in Sherlock. As well as, I don't believe it's in the Fighter's Ring.
This is the Fighter's Ring, yes. Oh, and speaking of coal.
It actually exists?
It exists! They
The rumors are
that
true.
in.
And it has the armor.
There we go.
So, MeleeWizard is going to have a little bit of an easier time for now. We do have another cave nearby. I think this has to be the Stones of Sunlight Cave? No? You're another cave.
What is this?
Oh, the grave is right beside the wall.
Interesting. And I wonder if MeleeWizard maybe didn't get some of the earlier chests, and that's why they're taking a look.
I know I had seen Bailey pick up the harp because we had also done the staff exchange already for that.
Right, yeah, you've seen that.
Yes. What are the bottom ones?
Yeah, it looks like they're going right for bottom two here. which did not have anything particularly important, as I recall.
They do have metal slimes, though, with an excellent move.
With an excellent move,
That's
okay.
something to do in the grave.
Alright, that's what all the cool kids are doing, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Do you have another one for us here, MeleeWizard? What? I was kidding.
Wow.
I was very much kidding with that.
Ah, another dragon scale. The fourth chest in the grave.
Amazing luck on these metal slimes here today from a few different players now.
And a level up with a bunch of 2s and then a 6 gain there. So not a particularly great level up.
Let's see, I think, yep, we did just hit level 12 now on Tyerenex's side as well.
Looks like level 12 bringing heal more.
Yeah.
Tyerenex discovering coal. They're going to be very happy to see what's in there.
Definitely going to help a lot with the exploration. Between both getting heal more and the Airdrix armor, that's going to help a lot for any sort of exploration they want to do.
Yes, indeed. Like Tyerenex found a broadsword in coal, but unfortunately did not have the money to buy it.
Yeah, I feel like upgrading the weapons is definitely something that our runners are going to want to consider. However, you have to be in the right situation for that. Now we have MeleeWizard also venturing through the swamp cave. I believe until this point CD was the only one who really made any sort of progress there. Oh, but Melee is actually fighting the red dragon. Tries to hurt more, but...
I'm gonna try to hurt more, okay?
Meanwhile, Tyerenex has found Hawksness, and we have a golem living there. Very good chance that we have the golem guarding the fairy, which is also a cute thing.
Indeed. I'm wondering if Tyerenex was checking to see if they had the fairy flute there.
Also, yeah, between, you know, maybe wanting to have the fairy flute measure and just even knowing what the grind enemy is. But this makes it interesting because we know the sword is in Charlotte, and yet our grind enemies are not very good with her.
Right. The neither of these enemies are really particularly what you want to see in terms of grind enemies. Especially with when you don't have a great weapon to at least do some decent damage to them. MeleeWizard succeeds in killing a red dragon. But because I guess they're gonna try again. Well, that didn't really work. I guess because we don't have coordinates, there's unfortunately no particular need to rescue the princess.
Other than common courtesy, you know? So
Oh, sure.
You're probably hoping for a hand axe with the amount of money you've got. And again, club and broadsword.
But no hand axe.
just a situation of not quite the right weapons in the right shops at the right time. The very first time they did go to the ham, there wasn't any weapon worth them getting. Level 12 now for CD, also getting the heal more. And MeleeWizard is taking a jump into Sherlock.
Tyerenex finds the Stones Cave.
Sunlight Cave.
And it's gold.
Oh, shucks. So now we can guarantee that of course, that the sword, death necklace, and fighter's ring are all in Sherlock. Which, in theory, if they're all in the treasury, that could be very convenient. But if they're not, if something we're looking for is on the vanilla sword cave, we might need to go on an extra adventure.
Yes, indeed. And MeleeWizard apparently purchased a flame sword at some point.
Well, that's good. That's some money.
And Tyerenex, meanwhile, just picked up a broadsword.
Wrong. Tracking the wrong names. There, that should be all better now.
There you go, that looks right. And it looks like MeleeWizard gonna try and perform a sword dive.
Yeah, with both heal more and hurt more, and Erdrick's armor is that down there. Pretty much the bigger thing now would just be if your MP is a little more limited, you really have to, budget what you use between healing and attacking.
Yeah, the dive for information can always be a good thing as well. So it's potentially up to 24 for MeleeWizard in the basement, not 22. Yeah, it's a 12-point attack difference between the flame sword and the Erdrick sword. And 2 more for the fighter's ring, and then 10 for the death necklace.
There's a lot of potential down there, and if you know it's in there, then very good idea to go get it if you think you can make it. And yeah, as Rye Guy, pardon me, points out in chat, it's also information on what is inside Sherlock, so you know what to expect and what you're, looking at when it finally is time to go down there without using all your resources.
And yikes, the Armored Knights with sleep. Or the AK-47s, as we like to call them. Named after, of course, the automatic machine gun type weapon. I don't know exactly who coined AK-47, but I know we used to call Armored Knights the Deputy Fun Police until someone came up with AK-47, and we all decided we liked that better.
So we're almost down to the Sherlock Treasury now. We're definitely seeing a lot of the hard to run from enemies in Sherlock, though, and especially with the Armored Knight having the sleep spell, that's going to be a doozy. Are we allowed to call this a doozy yet?
I would say yes. This is not going to be an easy dive, especially since right now we still don't have a whole lot of MP. I mean, that is kind of the least of the problems at this point, but nonetheless, it is a problem.
But we're back down in the basement where there is light and we can see. And there are 6 chests waiting.
I'm calling Vanilla Sword. Because I'm mean like that.
I suppose I should have prompted chat to tell me, what chest do you think this sword will be in? Put your votes in now. I always vote for middle. Because I don't even know why. I just always guess it, and one day I'll be right.
Alright, let's see. Well, I was wrong. First shot. Gonna put on the fighter's ring. The fighter's ring in the randomizer gives +2 attack power. In the vanilla game, it is actually bugged. It does nothing. It's supposed to give +2 attack power. It just looks cool. You can adjust it on your finger.
Somebody didn't quite program their game properly now, did they?
Indeed not. And I don't know if MeleeWizard just forgot that they don't have the death necklace. They're either just not going to be thinking that they need it. They opted to basically not check the rest of the treasury, which is a little bit odd.
Now, I thought I saw a surprise attack from an armored knight there, but I could be wrong. That or he just wasn't thinking about it. Either way,
Right.
the potential is there for the future as well.
Yeah, I think you did see an armored knight surprise attack, but it was after he grabbed the sword and the ring and then just kind of wandered around the treasury for a bit.
Alright, fair enough.
cdinprov finds. Oh, they knew where Hopkins was already. Okay.
I mean, there's a chance that maybe he was not thinking about it. However, with 126 HP and your other stats not there, you've got to think that it's probably in the back of your mind.
Yeah, you would think so.
But I'm not here to tell other people what to do. So CD is buying the half plate from Breckenry and a broadsword.
Yep, that's about the best you can do there.
Yeah. Slight upgrades there. Might be able to find coal soon, but right now we are in Hawksness. And then CD will find the golem as well. I want to heal more here. It'll be no problem to hit.
Yep, with the heal mores, and CD does have a broadsword as well, as opposed to when Tyerenex was there, they had the club, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm. And with that as well, you know, at least she'll gain the information that we need to find coal for the armor. Yeah, there have not been many MTI levels in this game. And not even a true MTI level.
Nope, there was the one level that had 0 power, and I believe that was it.
I know. Kind of some disappointment there. But it's okay. There's not also been a spark over bridge.
There is nothing in the Hawksness spot, which would imply the fairy flute is also in a chest somewhere in Charlock.
Which also implies that there are no cursed belts in this seed. I don't know.
This has not been a very good seed for us, has it?
Gee whiz. I know, and also no bridges, as pointed out in chat. We need these levels and items to cater to us! Somehow I don't think chat is allowed to ask for a reroll. So now with Erdrick's sword and armor in hand, we are going to see what MeleeWizard's plan is for leveling up. And from the looks of it so far, I believe we're just seeing a little bit of a walking around the desert. I don't know if we plan on settling here.
Alright, I'm not exactly sure what's going on here.
Tyerenex taking another walk down into the Sherlock to try and see if we can get to the bottom.
Yeah, at this point you might as well in cdinprov. Can I get the Erdrick's armor?
Beauty. Now we are all very well equipped.
Alright.
Yeah, Melee doesn't seem to be very keen on either of the grind enemies, opting to see what's in the desert, and sometimes that can be an alright plan. If you can find like a desert with some good spawns beside a town where you can heal, that can be. Alright, we'll see how this works.
It can be, although on the other hand, it is interesting that they're opting to try and hurt more blue dragons. I believe that's about a 50-50 shot of it actually working. Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of hurt more than blue dragons myself. I feel like it never works when I want to, so it's always trouble. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, I'm not sure if MeleeWizard had seen that area with the billions of metal slimes and one red dragon. Anyway, our attack power right now on Melee's side is 113.
Right, that's the other issue, is you're still not at a point, even with Erdrick's sword, that you can reliably hit metal slimes. Although, the excellent move luck we've seen so far.
Yeah, I think we've seen 3 or 4 excellent moves on the metal slimes. Yeah, I want to believe in this position I would like the red dragons, but I think Melee is very happy in this desert right now, though the encounters are always appearing sometimes. Where have you gone, all the blue dragons? Yeah, I don't believe I saw CD go down to the bottom of the grave before, so it is possible considering,
Yeah, I'm not really sure what they're doing.
So earning up for Tyerenex now. Still heading down the floors, however, is down to 13 MP already.
They're gonna... Oh, here's a level up. Level 14. And another huge ability. There's the MP we needed.
Unfortunately, you don't gain it at the level itself. You have to go to an inn or die for it to replenish, so have to wait a little bit for that to be useful.
That is fair enough. And you are correct. But as it didn't appear as though they were going to... Oh, excuse me. Clearly, they're not looking to beat the Dragon Lord on this trip. They're looking to just kind of gain some information here, check out what's in the treasury. Maybe if they're extremely lucky, get to the mini-boss tile and see what's over there. Or defense-breaking green dragons. Well then.
Getting to the mini-boss tile in Sherlock is always an advantage. Because usually if you're sword diving, you're not really caring how much MP you're using, so even if you find something you can fight, surviving that fight for a few times can be difficult. And occasionally you find the miracle enemy that has, you know, just kind of the right spell combination or something that you actually can stay down there and grind for a while. Anyway, let's see what's in the rest of these chests. We've got our sword and our fighter's ring, of course. And there is a treasure box!
Tyerenex confirming there is a treasure box.
It's got fairy water.
Some wings. There's the fairy flute.
And a blue dragon.
That's
Wait,
a blue
that's
dragon.
not a treasure. And in the last one up here, we have the
This is
Death
the
Necklace.
Death Necklace.
That will definitely be in play later on. I just want to assume one more level, and it's a very good chance we might be able to see it being in use. Of course, that's never a guarantee.
Indeed.
But based on the other stats, I want to believe Death Necklace will be for the end of the game.
Oh, certainly. Especially since there was a town not too far from Tantagel where you can easily go to heal up. So we might even see our players put on the Death Necklace, or I might see Tyerenex put on the Death Necklace even before going to fight the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, it's always a bit of a debate. Like, it's definitely nice to have the attack power for grinding if you really need it, but at the same time, then you have a bit more of a dangerous Sherlock walk. CD goes back behind the town of Garanham and will be exchanging her harp for the Staff of Rain. Ty looked like was making a run for the mini-boss, but these armored knights, they really want to protect the castle, you see. They're doing a very good job.
They certainly are. And
I mean, I assume that's why the Dragon Lord's keeping them around.
And CD now, getting the rainbow drop. They've got some experience to make up here. Meanwhile, MeleeWizard actually hit level 15 a while ago, and I completely missed that.
But from the looks of the new stats, we're up to 138 HP now. Though still not quite there as far as your ratio of attacks to MP.
Yeah, that would put you at 130 attack power after you use the Death Necklace.
Yeah, on average you'd probably still want one more heal more for that.
Yes, so the Dragon Lord 2 and the Dragon Warrior randomizer can have anywhere from 150 to 165 points. With 130 attack power, you're going to be doing anywhere from, I believe it's 7 to 15 damage per attack. It might be 8 to 15. And then, of course, there is the additional complication of the dive, where it is unlikely you're actually going to make it to the Dragon Lord with all of your magic points intact.
Yeah, as we're already aware, we've got both Red Dragon and Armored Knights. And if you remember, the Armored Knights have sleep. It's not going to be a lot of fun for getting out of here, or getting into here, rather.
Meanwhile, we see Tyerenex has opted for the Fun Please grind in the Swamp Cave, it looks like.
that's 255 experience every single time. And being so close to home as well, that definitely makes for fast healing whenever you're out of MP. So this could be an equalizer here. We're going to have to see if the constant red dragon versus the slightly safer Hurtmoring approach in Sherlock, how they stack up against each other.
The red dragon there with the dodge. Here comes level 15 for Tyerenex. Taking a look at the stats there. I'm wondering if they're thinking about it. Nope, they opts you continue grinding.
Not quite there yet. Sometimes in some situations, even if you have the death necklace, depending on your stats, it might almost be preferred to not use the death necklace instead of double attacks. But this is not one of those situations. Their attack power is not high enough to compensate for that yet.
Yes, indeed. We have chat telling us there need to be some serious RNG magic for 15-4. Which I don't disagree with, but then again, I'm the guy who opted not to herb or otherwise heal at 1 hit point in the top of Sherlock in my previous race, and somehow had it work out, so...
I mean, hey, what are we talking about? Level 15 isn't the time. They've got Hurt More! That can do, like, all the damage you need if you 3 times.
Don't forget Heal More, so they can quickly heal up any damage they might take on the way down.
Oh, and you know, if you can put the Dragon Lord to sleep, why do you even need to worry about taking damage? Somehow I think these aren't, recommended strategies.
I somehow feel like we're not paying over the chat here with our pro strat.
So we've got MeleeWizard closing in on level 16 here. Will the blue dragon do it? No. Melee will need one more enemy.
One more enemy.
And then we get to see what it is. So what are we looking for, MTI? What are you hoping out of?
That is a great question, actually. Yeah, I feel like to see a little more attack power coming out of this. I don't know exactly how much. A little more, I suppose.
Keep in mind also, Melee doesn't have the,
Let's see what we've got.
death necklace.
Ooh, there. Oh my goodness! 0 agility! 0 MP! I love it!
Congratulations, folks. We have made the perfect seed. Oh, and by the way, that's not going to help us, so we're going to have to go up to level 16. So now we really get to put this to the test and see how the consistent red dragon will be in with Tyrenex's side versus MeleeWizard's Sherlock grind with the not quite as often enemies.
Well,
yeah, Lord says in chat, level 17 might not be it either.
You never know.
This is kind of the point of the game where a level can really, you know, tip the scales or not. If it's another disappointment level, there might be something very borderline that might be it maybe, or you could get like 19 power and be like, well, it's time to go.
It's time to go, yeah. I have definitely been on both ends of that, so... just so they know, it looks like approximately a... Well, with that golem, about a 1,750 experience lead. now for MeleeWizard over Tyerenex, so we'll see how this works out. Well, that crit will help Tyerenex, certainly. Meanwhile, it's looking like cdinprov gonna make their sword dive attempt here.
And we'll see if she's able to pick up all of our 3 items with treasury. As noted in chat, of course, MeleeWizard does not have the death necklace yet. So if it does come down to the wire as far as the 2, Tyerenex and MeleeWizard, going to fight the Dragon Lord, that's one less stop for Ty to make.
And just a note here, it does look like Tyerenex is closing the experience gap here with these consistent red dragons. Now down to about, I'd say, 1,000 experience or so.
Yeah, really making up ground here, and as it was noted in the chat, the longer the grind is, the more ground will be made up during it. Because as well, Tyerenex can just fight until all of the HP runs out, and then can be quickly returned home for a fast heal. Catelyn, right outside Sherlock, also not too far a walk away. But the constant one enemy after another guaranteed. That's really powerful.
Right, especially with the Erdrick sword, that helps. That helps to defeat the red dragons fairly quickly, whereas with a weaker weapon, you may be not so well served trying to chip away at red dragons constantly. Here it looks like Tyerenex is averaging probably about 4 hits per.
So the next level is at 12,000 experience, I believe. So that's about 4 red dragons for Ty, and probably about 3 to 4 random enemies in Sherlock, depending on what Melee is fighting.
cdinprov attempting a stop spell on an armored knight there. I don't actually know what the resistance of a armored knight is to stop spell. It didn't work out there.
So we're 2 red dragons away for Tyerenex, unfortunately. It's time to die and go back home to heal. Meanwhile, MeleeWizard will be getting the level on this blue dragon here. So very close here. Pretty much have caught up. One difference again here though now is that if 17 is the level, MeleeWizard has the proximity to Sherlock. However, it looks like Tyerenex is going on a mission. Possibly going to Sherlock in hopes that the next level is the one.
Let's see, it looks like gonna restock some herbs here. And here comes level 17.
3, 1, 6, and I believe 3 I saw.
That is, you did indeed see 3.
So let's take a look. What is our MP now? 97. I believe this, in theory, is getting possible now. The agility has actually made its way up there too, so Sherlock might not even be too bad. However, we do have melee fighting again here. Yeah, Lorgon puts it very well. Doable, but
Yes.
unpleasant.
Doable but unpleasant. If you think you can make it down there with everything you need, then you know, then you have a chance. But the key is that can you make it down there with everything?
I feel like in this position, I would probably try to do something along the lines of make it. And if I really thought I couldn't, I would just use my MP to save myself, seeing as Countland is right outside. Especially if I'm already in the position of grinding in the castle. Meanwhile, on CD's side, we have picked up the Death Necklace, and I can only hope for her sake that we will also be picking up these next 2 chests with the Fighter's Ring and the Sword, and we do.
We do. Hooray.
Just saying hopefully in the case that, you know, we are ambushed by something. But
Yes, which does happen.
it does happen, and with 1 MP, sometimes you can't help it.
Yeah, okay, so it looks like Tyerenex is going to kind of finish up their way to level 17 here. Either on the way down, or just kind of... There we go, not doing a little, just kind of clean up here, I guess. Finishing up
There's the
all
putting
here,
on
I imagine. We're going to take a look, and if they decide to go, probably just going to go outside, heal up, and dive.
And there is level 17 as well for Tyerenex.
And they're thinking about it.
Taking a real hard look at the stats. Knowing that it is possible. Taking another thing again.
Yeah.
And it looks like we might be making an attempt.
Yeah, looks like they're gonna heal and go for it. Answering a question in chat, your mom, my prom. Unfortunately, we kept incorrect track of time, or rather incorrect track of the time of the race. They thought it began at 9 p.m. Eastern, and it actually started at 8 p.m. Eastern.
We tried all the apps on Discord, but unfortunately, they were not very effective. Ouija's ash resistance was way too high.
Yes.
So we have got Tyerenex making a dive here, and we are going to see how successful we are at this point. MeleeWizard choosing to grind is already getting close to the next level, actually. Probably a couple enemies away at this point, so we'll see what they bring.
This is 14,250, I think, at this point.
That sounds correct.
And I believe cdinprov is going to go for a red dragon grind here as well.
There's level 15 for CD, and meanwhile, I believe the next level for... We'll see. I assume Melee is looking for either a big strength, big agility, but let's see.
Well, 7. And 7.
I have to say that that's going to do it. It definitely is a note that Melee not even have the Death Necklace yet. However, now that we're looking at 132 attack power and 104 MP, it's... By itself, that is not too promising. However, with all the double attacks you would get with 147 HP, you don't necessarily need the Death Necklace now.
Right, 132 attack power is pretty good. That's 8 to 16 on the Dragon Lord, so you're doing an average of 12 damage.
Yeah. I believe... Oh wait, did I do my math backwards? No, we are right on average. I miscalculated. No, we are right in a lovely spot for MeleeWizard here. So pretty much it's all going to come down to whether or not Tyerenex can successfully make it to the Dragon Lord. The run luck does seem to be working alright from what I'm seeing here, though. And we are almost down to that bottom floor where the Dragon Lord died. So I'm just going to open up my handy calculator app here and follow along at home. Not saying if we can get, of course, to the Dragon Lord. I don't believe we know what the mini-boss is yet either, so we still have
I don't believe so.
Now what could shake that up?
And uh-oh, speaking of the modulo Sleepy AK here, oh, okay, Tyerenex gets away. Gonna use a few herbs here.
I suppose we've seen enough red dragons and golems to know they're not too much of buggers. I don't think we've seen too many surprises. I think an Armor Knight with the sleep spell is the nastiest, larger enemy we have. And on the tile we have...
Sounds about right, and uh-oh. Well, that changes the calculus a bit.
So we have some thoughts here. If you cast Stop Spell, you are losing a heal more.
And
it's not even a guarantee.
I don't know what the stop spell resistance is on this.
And he gets put to sleep after one attack. With a lot of health here, you know, you have a little bit of a buffer here, but Ty is just not waking up.
Gonna attack again. Oh, that's not gonna kill it. Oh, another sleep spell. Oh boy.
Oh gosh.
It'd be a 75% sleep on that Armor Knight, I have to think.
Yeah. Wakes up and casts Heal More. Now, interestingly enough, I feel like a Hurt More might have been a safe chance there as well. However, as long as the Armored Knight can't heal itself, you're still pretty solid there. As long as you don't get sleep locked.
Right, the other problem was there, if he threw the Hurt More and it missed. Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
Oh.
And with that, unfortunately for Tyerenex, we are going back to the castle. And now, meanwhile, we have MeleeWizard down to see the same one. However, we have slightly more power this time. Tiniest bit more health to work with here.
Oh, I was gonna say more MP, but nope. Looks like green dragons do also have sleep as well, but they're also defense broken at this point, so. Meanwhile, cdinprov hitting level 16, hitting that sweet MDI level.
So it looks like after that Sherlock experience, Tyerenex is down to fight more red dragons, probably to get the next level. What do you mean probably, Sparko? What else is he doing down there?
We're mooring a werewolf, apparently. Yeah, they're gonna do some more fighting here.
Alright, and now we have MeleeWizard approaching the Armored Knight. We'll see how it is handled. However, there is extra MP to spare because we have 94. You can cast either a Hurtmore or a stop spell here without the chance of losing your Healmore. However, we are not waking up. Oh, we do it the last minute? An ops to cast a Hurtmore. It hits, and the Armored Knight is defeated.
Luckily, that worked. Oh.
Oh dear me, and we are caught by another Armored Knight with sleep. Right before the Dragon Lord. And Melee is able to run. And casts another Healmore. So we have 10 Healmores, and let's see, our attack power is 132, so we're doing an average of 8 to 16. However, with a very high HP, double attacks could be a thing here. Let's see how this fight goes.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Very interesting. Let's all count the numbers together, friends.
Well, that's a good start.
Yeah, 15 to start, close to the
very good
top
start.
tab. Followed by a 9 for 24. Another 15. Very good for Melee's side.
I believe that's 51.
51, yes. And a 10 for 61.
61.
And then a 14, up to 87 now, so we're past the halfway point, and just past half of our Healmores.
There's 99.
That would be 99. So the Dragon Lord can get anywhere from 150 to 165 HP.
I hear the
You don't know what that is.
now, incidentally.
Rolling a few lower numbers now. Up to 126, I believe. The 13 for 139 and 2 Healmores left. I want to say that this is going to be successful.
Yep, there's 149.
Yeah, I believe with 2 more hits, we are incredibly safe. We're pretty much guaranteed this hit, actually.
And there it is.
And now has found the Ball of Light. So with that, MeleeWizard flies back to town, goes to talk to the king, and finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 38 minutes, 51 seconds.
Hooray.
Alright, so let's see if we can get Melee into here for an interview. let's take a look here. Oh, I have misplaced my tracking window. There we go.
I am not in the SRL race chat, so I can't ask him if he wants an interview or not.
Oh, he will be here shortly.
Alright.
My apologies. Now, over here on Ty's side, oh, we have indeed hit level 8, so we will see how this new dive goes. Only slightly more agility, but there is... Meanwhile, CD is actually heading down to the Dragon Lord as well. And hello.
Hello?
Hello there.
Oh, hi there.
Hear you.
The heck? How the heck did I win this one?
Well, would you like me to tell you?
Yes, please.
Tyerenex died to the mini-boss of the Armored Knight. There was a sleep lock.
Yeah, I experienced that a couple times myself. I almost fell prey to it myself on that one. I almost fell prey to the one after the mini-boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little
I feel
scary.
like your strategy with the Herbmore for it, though, was really, it sealed the deal there. Like, recognizing that you had extra MP to use, the Herbmore, that kept you pretty safe there.
Strategy
so yeah,
was more of... strategy, nothing. It was more of, I need to get past this thing.
True enough.
I have been there.
Any initial thoughts for you or anything?
Everything was pretty much close to Tanajo for the most part. Because of my usual habits in routing and exploration, which kind of sucks, I figured everyone else had a leg up on me on that early on.
Well, let's recap. Both you and Tyerenex did decide to save your key, or rather go into the treasury, and then of course that created the gold grind for both of you, whereas CD actually chose to go outside right away and was able to find Herbmore before you two. But once the ball started rolling a little, you were able to sort of run away with most everything in the race, and you managed to keep a lead on it most of the time. Tyerenex did opt to go down to the Dragon Lord at 17, however, with what happened at the mini-boss, yeah, you were able to take the lead there, position-wise, and defeat the Dragon Lord at the next level.
Yeah, when I saw my strength at 17, what was it, like 125, I think it was? Yeah, I felt that wasn't quite enough. Given that I pretty much ran out of MP, I think I was justified there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so did you know that you never actually grabbed the death necklace out of the treasury in Charlotte?
I knew I didn't have it. I had a feeling it might have been there. I wasn't going to go back and get it, though, if it was.
Okay, fair enough.
All I saw was sword in the first one, fighter ring in the second one. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. In the end, it turned out you didn't need it. It definitely was an option, probably at 17 for sure, but by the time you hit 18, solid, impaled, turned green for us.
Yeah, when I saw that, it was in the back of my mind, but at that point, it was late game. It was grind mode. It's like, if I like going back to the treasury to get the death necklace, assuming it was there and not in the vanilla sword chest, it felt like too much of a time sink at that point. If I had gotten it the first go in the treasury, maybe, but I wasn't going back in there a second time for it.
Yeah, fair enough. So currently, we have CD fighting the Dragon Lord at level 16. I believe I've missed a few hits in here, full count, and we have Tyerenex at 18, just about getting up there.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping track. I do know CD did use the death necklace before speaking to the Dragon Lord, so...
Yeah, okay. At level 16, yeah, yeah, definitely.
I will update that on the tracker then.
So, did anyone find Hawksness by chance? Because
yeah.
I'm pretty sure by process of elimination, I figured that's where the flute was.
It was actually empty. The flute was also in the Charlock treasury.
Oh, really? Wow.
And fun enough, the golem was guarding it.
The golem, yeah, well, the golem was the Hawk's Nest Guardian that was guarding nothing in particular.
I guess I got lucky on that one, I guess. That and having no coordinates to hunt down, that would have set me back some, because I know some people can count that stuff, and I really can't.
So CD on her last couple attacks here has a chance at getting a triple actually here. But there is fire for 48 and she falls. Meanwhile, Tyerenex has just encountered the Dragon Lord and did put on the Death Necklace fight. At level 18, I want to say we're super close here. Super safe.
Yeah, I just want to point out CD got very unlucky in that fight. That was, I saw at least four breathing fires for 48 and one other one for 46. So
I remember I was at 45 and I briefly contemplated going for it, but I decided not to, and it was a good thing because I would have got hit for 45. That, and I was kind of worried myself because wasn't there didn't I get like 2 8s in a row at some point in there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was worrying.
yeah, you did also heal at 48 early in that fight, but given the basically automatic double attack you got out of that, I can understand that. So
yeah, the thing I know 48, I wasn't gonna risk it at that point. I knew that if I had gone for it at 48, I would have gotten breathed for 48. That's just how my luck goes sometimes.
Oh, of course, I know that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I think I didn't even pull up IRC until after I beat Dragon Lord, because I had assumed that someone had finished like 10 minutes prior already.
No, like we said, you were basically ahead. You know, outside of the early game, you were ahead for most of it. Tyerenex did, like we said, attempt a dive at 17, and it didn't work out. But other than that,
yeah, I think I briefly contemplated taking a dive at 17 just to see what the mini boss was, but I ultimately decided against it. Though on some level, it felt like maybe if I had gone down to that bottom floor, the grind might have been a little bit easier because it had the green dragons and the star wyverns down there. Granted, the XP per fight would have been less, but I wouldn't have had to commit as much resources per fight, I wouldn't think.
Anyway, I'd just like to interrupt for a second here. Tyerenex has just finished in second place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 4 seconds.
GG.
and GG to Tyerenex. Tyerenex. It's one of those.
Meanwhile, again, we still have CD heading down to the bottom again. Figuring level 16 is the level to go on.
Well, when you've already used the Death Necklace, you're kinda sorta committed a little bit.
True enough.
Although it was nice that Caitlyn was pretty much right next door, so healing during the grind didn't really have to go out of my way for that.
Yeah, fair enough. And hello, with that, sounds like we have got a Tyerenex in here.
Yeah, how's it going?
Hello, GG.
Thanks.
Yeah, GG.
What are your feelings? How did you feel?
I think I screwed that up really bad on that Axe Knight fight. I didn't know what to do because I was right on the cusp. I was like, if I use any magic here, it's like basically losing a heal more, and I felt like I needed it. So I tried. I probably should have stop spelled him or tried to hurt more him. I don't know.
You're talking about the Armored Knight, you mean?
Yeah, that's what it, yeah.
To be fair, I got I got sleep locked during my grind at least once, maybe twice. So I know, and I came close to getting sniped too, at like right in front of Dragon Lord after the mini boss too. So could have gone either way.
Yeah, after the mini boss, Tyerenex MeleeWizard ran into a second armored knight, but very nearly, as he said, sniped him before he could even talk to the Dragon Lord. So
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think maybe if I'd have, because I was on. Did you win on 17 or?
I went on 18.
Okay, I was going on 17. I thought it was really borderline, and that was probably a dumb mistake because I knew, because when I went down to get my sword, that it was pretty nasty in there. So I knew if I could get all the way down there without using any MP, I'd be fine. But
just for laughs, what level were you when you went down to get your sword?
oh, I forget. I think I was in 13, 14 or something like
I
that.
think I was at 12. I must have gotten pretty lucky. But the thing is, I did first chest sword, second chest fighter's ring, and then died.
Oh, yeah.
So never saw the death necklace. So that thought didn't really entertain any serious thoughts in my head.
Man, I haven't struggled that much on a seed that had an early hurt more. It just seemed like everything was like dragons and human knights,
wizards, things that were hurt more resistant, definitely.
Yeah,
So-
I enjoyed seeing those wyverns at the wyverns and magi wyverns at the start too. Those were very nice fodder for the early game.
I don't think I saw a lot of those. I don't know. It was kind of like an all over the place kind of run. I mean, I think
there was one part that I feel I was laughing out loud for during my trip through Garen's grave.
Oh yes, tell us about that.
Yeah, 2 straight metal slimes, 2 straight crits.
I did that too.
It was like the first one was cool. Then I saw the second one, and I crit that one too. First time, I was like, I was just laughing at that.
Yeah, we in the chat were laughing at that as well, because after the first one, Sparkover actually said, "How about a second crit with a metal slam?" And then you did it, and she was incredulous. It was pretty great.
It was pretty amazing. So I have a couple requests here from Lorgon in chat. I'm not sure if the two of you are reading it, but first off, Lorgon says, tell Ty he made up a 2k deficit in experience with the Red Dragon grind. And that is true. Well, Ty chose to grind on the Red Dragon in the Swamp Cave. MeleeWizard was grinding just in Sherlock. So that was... it made up the difference and gave a very interesting finish for that. And also to say that CD barely died on level 16, and actually currently is right now in front of the Dragon Lord, unfortunately having a bit of a problem with a dragon.
What do you mean I made it up? Did you win on your first dive?
Yes,
That's
I
what I
did.
assumed.
Yeah, I won my first time out, barely.
Sorry, no, I should elaborate. Melee had experience lead, quite big an experience lead, and the two of you both hit level 16 just around the same time. Like, it would have been right, I think, on the same enemy if it weren't for, who was it? Ty having to go back and heal. But very close, like, you made up a giant experience gap. So it made it really fun to watch.
Yeah, I don't like fighting red dragons, period. I just don't trust myself to be able to do it consistently.
That's fair.
Yeah, it says something that I would rather fight blue dragons with heal and armored knights with sleep than fighting red dragons with nothing.
Yeah. Well, it is, to be fair, the Red Dragon is a very tanky enemy. And they hit hard too, so I can kind of understand that decision.
And goodness knows I was getting the same experience from the golems anyway, but it was just the matter of trap tile versus no trap tile, really, I'm sure.
Yeah, like the consistent 255 experience on the track tile is really what helped Tyerenex make up that gap. Meanwhile, we have CD taking another stab at the Dragon Lord here. I want to point out, as Lorgon said in chat, CD in the first attempt did barely die on 16. They got very unlucky on the Dragon Lord. I saw, in that first fight, I think, at least 4 breaths for 48, and then a 5th breath for 46. And I've unfortunately not been keeping count on this second go here, so I don't know. You know,
I think the total hit points was like 165, 170, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it would be on the upper end of 165 in that case.
And I want to say I got the kill on 171.
Yeah, it felt like he had a lot of health. So I don't know, maybe 17 wasn't doable. Even if I would have got through that Axe Knight. I mean, Armored Knight.
And unfortunately, this is not the fight for CD. And see that we're paused, actually.
Yeah, I see the paused emulator there. I'm not sure what that means.
It looks like in IRC, CDI's kind of freeing us from our commitment of watching them continue this.
Oh, I see. There is that.
I don't actually see that. I don't have the IRC up, so.
We can use the power of friendship to relay messages to you.
Hooray, friendship.
Did you gold grind on level 1?
The gold. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I think I did a second grind when I saw Cantlin and saw Magic Armor and Flame Sword. I went right back into Mountain Cave, grabbed some treasure chests, died out, and then grinded up for those afterwards. So that didn't really help me. That didn't help my thoughts on how I was positioned, but I felt like I just needed the equipment at that point.
Yeah, that's probably, I didn't do that. Like, I think I grinded up to like 32,000 and then I died, but then I found the town that just had the silver shield, and I had enough just to buy the silver shield, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be fine. But yeah, I never did the second grind and just mid-game just really struggled.
I think on my initial grind, I think I only went to like 20-ish, because it was more of a case of, hey, if Silver Shield's there, cool. If not, I'll just get whatever I can.
Yeah.
Right.
And it just so happened that Silver Shield was right there in Garanham, and then I ended up getting, a club and a chainmail afterwards, because that's pretty much the only other things it had. And I think I'm gonna hop out. GG.
Sweet, GG.
Yes, GG, MeleeWizard. Congratulations.
Fortunately, it seems our opponent thought it was 9 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock.
Yes.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, we I guess miskept or otherwise miswrote the time of the race down.
Ooh, looks like we're gonna do a week 4 practice race. That'll be interesting.
I need to practice that.
Yeah, so do I. That's probably up Sparkover's, because I haven't played the vanilla game that much, so I don't really know the vanilla map that well.
Yeah, before this race, Sparkover and I were talking about that. about how I haven't played vanilla in a while, so some of the, I know I would say most of it, but there's, getting to Kentland. I don't know that I could do that necessarily, so.
I did one speed run of vanilla Dragon Warrior, and I think I did it in like 6 hours and 40 some odd. So I've done it like once, but I really don't know that map off like I should. I'm probably just gonna have like the actual map on my second monitor the whole time. So that'll be an interesting one. I mean, I can't complain too much about second. 9 points is probably gonna put me right on the cusp of top 16. It'll be close. I think the four of us were on the, as far as the rankings went, would have been like the first four out. I think we
about right.
17 through 20. So getting the 3 points in this one probably keeps me around the same spot.
I should be able to tell you if you give me one moment here.
Oh yeah, well, short of the one race that's still going.
Yeah, the other race, after that one, they're going to be doing the draws actually for the next rounds, so that'll be pretty interesting to find out for any of you who are, or any of you paying attention to the league. Should be fun to find out.
Okay, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thanks for commentating on short notice like that.
Oh, no problem.
Thanks for being on the show.
No problem. Have a good night.
Take care.
Good night. So how's everybody enjoyed my indoor voice this race?
You're having a very good indoor voice.
Alright.
So it looks like we have CD. She's just grinding up to the next level now. We'll see how she feels about level 17, given that 16 definitely was given a very good chance. 17 might be good enough. I forget exactly what the improvements were between, but a little bit more.
Yeah, I forget as well. I think it's another 3 strength, and I think 3 MP as well.
That sounds about right. Either way, we are, well, I think 2 golems away from the level, or so probably 2 or 3 enemies, depending what we encounter. So we get a blue dragon, and I think this will give us level 17.
That sounds right. Yep.
Yep. And we'll find out whether or not she will be making the next descent.
If we can ever make it past this blue dragon's heel here. Oh, there we go.
Ah yes, breaking through the heal barrier. Usually very possible to do. And so, level 17.
And yep, they're gonna try again at 17, and I think that extra heal more will help out.
Yes, definitely. So hopefully for some good luck, we can finish off this race. And again, with just one race left for this week, we will conclude it and see where all the results lie. let's just take a peek at the other race now while we can. We are 45 minutes into the other race. We've got 2 racers at level 13, 1 at level 12. And it looks like a fair number of things have been found already. Hard to say from just observing exactly where everything's going to fall, but with all the racers, we should have an interesting conclusion to that. Now back to this. Looks like we are indeed making a run down to the dragon.
Yeah, cdinprov getting unlucky with these blue dragons, though. Getting run blocked here. There we go, there's the first try run.
There are many encounters on this first floor. But slowly making progress inside.
And again with the bad luck on the blue dragons. Blue dragons aren't particularly difficult to run away from, I don't believe. At least certainly not compared to, say, armored knights.
But given on how the stats can just go, and everything can be so random, you never know. Unfortunately, we are going to be taking a death to the armored knight here, and being sent home again after a bit of a sleep lock going on.
Armored knight's the bane of my dragon warrior randomizer existence.
And a slight pause here might be considering whether or not to carry on here.
Yeah, in that position, I would definitely be pretty tilted right about now. I'm not gonna lie.
And it looks like we're actually being urged. Ah, there we go. Being told we don't need to wait in IRC. However, I am saying that if Math Girl is good to stick, then I am definitely willing to. She is willing to wait it out. So
I don't particularly have anywhere to be either, so I'm willing to keep going here as well.
And we resume. However, we start resuming with being kicked out of the castle by the king. Always the thing if you have the death necklace on.
Yes, more generally, if you're cursed in the game and you die, the king will kick you out. And in the vanilla game, you have to go get uncursed in both the vanilla game and the randomizer. If you want to go get uncursed, you do so in the town of Breckenary, which in the vanilla game is maybe, 8 steps away from the castle?
I think not even. You'll find out next week.
Indeed. But in the randomizer, it is, of course, a random number of steps away from the castle, so... also, a note about the death necklace in the randomizer versus the vanilla game. In the vanilla game, the death necklace curses you, and that's it. That's all it does. In the randomizer, it provides a boost of 10 attack power in exchange for 1/4 of your maximum hit points. This was something introduced when Basically, there were a number of seeds with very high hit points, but still not enough attack power to be able to defeat the Dragon Lord. After a certain point, and it is a very high point, additional hit points just kind of become redundant against the Dragon Lord, because your maximum capacity is actually higher than your capacity to heal more, essentially. So your heal more becomes kind of a limiting factor, becomes sort of your pseudo-maximum HP at that point. So to try and reduce those seeds and introduce a little bit of strategy to be deciding when to go fight the Dragon Lord, we introduced this Death Necklace mechanic, where you can get some extra attack power if you're willing to sacrifice some hit points.
Yeah, I think around the 150 is kind of your happy point of where heal more stop to do anything. I believe you can heal up to 99, something like that. So, you know, assuming you're healing at 48 whenever, then that is probably around the number where at that point HP is considered wasted. So it's kind of funny too. Sometimes if, like before the Death Necklace was functional that way, you might even find yourself, if you had so much HP, you might have found yourself healing at like, 50-something just because you knew that you could.
Right, because you wanted the guaranteed double attack, or maybe triple attack even.
Yeah, it's always interesting to think about all the changes that have happened over the years. Like, both you and I have been part of this community for a very long time, since close to the beginning at least. So, we've seen this game in many different sorts of stages.
Yes, I definitely remember before the randomizer had a GUI. It was just you dragged your completely legally acquired Dragon Warrior ROM onto the randomizer, and it would pop up basically a DOS prompt. It would ask you for options. You'd fill those in, and boom, you'd have your seed. Now you have all sorts of cool, fun stuff there. That was not there before. Sprite edits, the chaos mode was not a thing when we started.
Back in my day. However, I do not want to shake my cane and tell all you, get off my lawn. I welcome everybody. Our community has quite a bit, especially in the past little while. Just in the beginning of the year, we have seen some of the largest weekly races, or even non-weekly. Just the races themselves have been a lot bigger, but some of the weekly races have made it up to, numbers past what we have ever seen before. And it's just really great to see the community growing, and just makes me so happy that it's doing very well.
Yeah, it's really cool that the community is, still growing and still kind of setting race records, especially since this is one of the more mature randomizers out there, I'd say. It was, not quite. I think Super Metroid was, one of the first randomizers, and then Legend of Zelda, and then possibly Dragon Warrior randomizer after that. So it's been around a while, so it's nice to see the popularity endure.
Yeah, and the tournaments have definitely been doing very well too. Like, even this league has brought out so many people, and also, there are a lot of new names, like, that haven't been around for very long, and again, that's also just great to see, new people participating, and that is super.
Yes, absolutely. We have, I believe it's now, I know there were a couple people who dropped out, but I believe it's 39 people currently in the league. It's close to 40, it's around 40. Which again is great for such a randomizer that has been around for quite a while.
Anyway, we've got CD now back on the bottom floor.
Yeah, hopefully this walk goes. Uh-oh. And as I say that, okay, it's away from the armored knight. Star Wyvern, that's no big deal.
Not to commentator curse or anything. That was a very smooth walk up until this start.
And again, getting unlucky with the Axe Knight running.
And we did get away again, thankfully. And found another.
Did. Yeah, got away first try that time, though.
Fantastic. Now let's do this. I believe in you. Using the last herb. Now, interestingly enough, there definitely is room for a herb here, but also the attack power. And look at this, the Armored Knight is not casting sleep. I'm going to be, yep, taken down on this hit.
Okay. And there's a blue dragon, just because.
So come on, let's make it to this Dragon Lord. Defeat this Dragon Lord. Oh, walking it off makes me so nervous, my poor heart.
Oh, I cannot, I do not. I'll just say I do not walk it up, and I'll leave it at that. Been burned by the attempted walk up in front of the Dragon Lord before.
Checking that max health, taking a few more steps. Thankfully, we're running from all these enemies.
Uh-oh.
And then we found an Armored Knight who negates all of the damage that was just taken. Or healed, rather. Oh dear me.
Oh no.
And unfortunately, with that sleep, we are sent back to the main castle. And unfortunately, CD has forfeit from the race.
But I have definitely been there with this agility total and even higher agility totals, where I've had plenty of HP but tried to walk it up, and an Armored Knight, not even with sleep, just straight up blocked me from running 5 or 6 times in a row, and I went from 120 hit points to dead. So I try not to walk it up anymore, wherever I can help it.
All right, well, CD is declining the interview, so for us for the night. So thank you very much to MTI for commentating with me. Thank you very much to Math Girl for doing
Yes,
the restream. And thank you for everybody for just spending the night with us, watching the race. And I believe that is it. I am definitely going to peek my nose into the other race that is going in on Randomania. And we should go host them, though I don't have those powers. Other than that, MTI, anything else for you to say?
I don't think so. Just thank you to Math Girl for the restream, and thank you Sparkover for co-commentating and for tracking as well. You know, pulling the double duty has to be very difficult there. And GG to all of our runners.
I got lost a few times, but, you know, chat helped us out.
Yes, thank you to the chat as well for hanging out with us tonight.